All right, if you haven't done so already, please put your first and last name on your packet. Today is the 6th, February the 6th, 2023, quarter 3, week 2. Warm up, the items that are due, warm up homework. We have our unit test this week on exponential functions. We're doing a study guide tomorrow or Wednesday, either tomorrow or Wednesday, or both. Okay. Literal equations is our review concept. We're going to do that on Thursday. So we have the class period for the test on Friday. So test is Friday, review quiz is on Thursday. Okay. A lot of us did so much better with the concept last week. Okay. Those grades were a whole lot better. Please make sure that you review your notes on literal equations this week. That's also what your homework is on purposely so that you can go back and review. Okay, we're not going to have enough time to review every single little thing. So this is my way of reviewing every single little thing before the test. So please follow along, do what you're supposed to do, and study little by little, okay? All right. We have tutoring this week. Don't forget, we have tutoring on Tuesday. Make sure that your ride is here by 4. The session is actually over 3:30, 3:15, somewhere in there, and you can leave at that time, okay? Because then I have another group that comes in at that time at 3:15 time or whatever. So Tuesday and Thursday is the tutoring. Okay, I have another group that comes in at about 3:15. So technically tutoring is over at that time, but you can stay and work on work while I'm with the other group. That's fine. Make sure that your ride is here by 4 p.m. though. Okay, at the latest. The agenda's on the sideboard. We're gonna write in our planner. We're gonna write what our goal is for this week. Make sure that your warm up is completed. We have questions about that. I'm only gonna do the ones we have questions on. Then I'm going to model compound interest today. We're going to do a little photo on compound interest, which is exponential growth, but it's dealing with money. Okay, so there is a formula. It's very similar to the exponential growth formula, but since we're dealing with money and money is going to be charged more than one time a year, there's something that you have to add to the formula when you see problems like that. Yes. Are we gonna have this class Wednesday, or are we not? Yeah, we should have this class on Wednesday. So we just want 60 period, right? I don't know which period they're gonna to delete, but we should have a chunk of each. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Unless they completely change it, who knows? I don't know. I don't put it out until the day of because people change their mind. All right. Any questions? And then people like, Miss Reyes, what you said? Well, look, I can only give you what they tell me. And people change their mind at the last minute, so I wait to put that schedule up the day of. Planner, please write down your goal for this week. Okay, don't write my goal down because it's gonna be different from your goal. The start of this week is 2/6, and write your goal down. Pause for the cause. All right, here we go. Find a new page. This is the week, February the 6th through February the 10th, okay? And this is quarter 3, week. What week is this, y'all? 2. Thank you. Lost my train of thought. Monday, math 1. Okay, we are studying. Our review studying is literal equations. I put literal equations by itself because remember at the beginning of the year that was the hardest thing that you all had difficulties with. So please go back and look at your notes and practice. Okay, you have the homework to practice, but look at your notes. We wrote down some steps. Go back over those, and of course you need to study your current notes. Okay, but please, super important to study. We're gonna take that review quiz on Thursday, and it's not gonna be long. I just need to know you know how to do it. We have our homework, and then I'm going to do a homework help video because this one was a harder concept for you in the first part of the year. So you do have a homework help video for this, okay? Don't forget that Tuesday is tutoring. Your ride needs to be here by 4 p.m. And Thursday is also tutoring. Please stay for tutoring.
Are we doing tutoring tomorrow?
It's Tuesday and Thursday, baby.
Okay. In person?
Yeah. You should have completed the warm up. Are there any questions about warm up number 29? We are using the graph. We're finding the rate of change. You count rise over run. This is going up by 20. So this is 20. Then we got 40. Then we got 60, right? So it's going positive 60. Slope is a positive because the line is going up. Positive 60 miles on the Y. The Y represents the miles. As always, rise over run. Y is on top. X is on the bottom. Over hours. 1 hour is going up by 1. So it's 60 miles per hour. 60 miles per hour is the rate of change. Use the equation to answer the questions. All right, so we got y is equal to 65x, where x is the hours, okay? And then y is the number of miles. So 65 miles per hour. What is the slope? 65 miles per hour. This is your slope. 65 miles per 1 hour. Okay? Compare the rate of change in the graph to the equation. Describe your thinking. The rate of change is in this graph, it's going 60 miles per hour in the equation. So it's going 5 miles per hour faster on the equation than it is in the on the line. Okay. So the rate of change, the equation rate of change is faster by 5 miles per hour. Okay. All right. All right, so this packet goes into your folder, work to do side. All right, the one that we're going to do first says simple interest in the corner. Please listen with your ears and not with your mouth. The direction is on the bottom. This is how this is going to go. We're going to cut out the boxes first. We'll give us a couple minutes to cut out these individual boxes. I'm going to pause for the calls, give us a chance to do that first. Okay, so the first one, I need you got example box, lay that one down first. Then you're going to lay down the one that says T. Then on top of that one is R. Then on top of that one is the P. Then you got I. Then you got simple interest is on top. Just like this. Okay? Lay it in that order. Simple interest formula is I is equal to P times R times T. But you know, when you have variables right connected to each other, the operation between them is automatically multiplication. Okay, so this is what it should look like. I'm going to walk around and staple these in a minute, okay? So leave this out to the side so I can staple it. Push this to the side so Ms. Reyes can staple that one. And then you're going to cut out the boxes for compound interest. Okay? So cut those boxes out. Cut these boxes out now. Okay? Pause for the calls. Okay, so now we're going to do simple interest formula first. Let me staple mine. I stapled y'all's and didn't staple mine. All right, so simple interest. Shh. Guys, please listen. Simple interest, okay? Simple interest formula goes just like this. You got your I, hold this back, which is your interest. The interest that occurs after T years.
Is that the first one?
Yes, baby. Okay, this is simple interest formula. The I stands for interest. Interest is the fee for borrowing money, or it's the capital or money that's gained, okay, for the investment that's made. So it's two parts that interest could be. All right. Nobody's gonna let you borrow anything for free. When you borrow money, there is a fee that they charge for that, and that's called interest. Okay. Nobody is going to let you borrow anything for free. When we say I'm going to charge you interest, that means they're going to charge you a certain amount for however long it takes for you to pay that money back. Okay. The longer it takes for you to pay the money back, the more interest that is occurring.
So like if I got like a house loan
Yes.
until I just want to use to pay it back,
It's going to cost more money.
more.
Yep. Because every month there's interest that's occurring for however many years it takes for you to pay that loan back. Okay, that's how they make profit.
It's different in every state.
It's different. Yes, cost of living makes it different, depending on where you live. Okay. Any questions? Shh. P, please stop. I don't care about that. And his language and his lingo, I don't care. P is principal. Okay. You got to answer to that, not me. Principal is talking about money. Okay. Make sure I spelled this principal right. And they didn't even spell that right. It's crazy that I know that. But they spelled principal like the administrator principal, and it's really principal LE. Okay. This is talking about money. All right. This is money. Principal is the amount of money, okay? This is money. So, starting amount of money maybe for your loan or the investment that you are making, okay? This is the money. R is going to be the rate. But you write this rate or percent as a decimal. To write a percent into a decimal, you move the decimal two places to the left. So if it's 3%, you locate the decimal and you move it two spaces to the left. So that's going to be equal to 0.03. Okay? I'm going to pause for the calls, give you a chance to write that. So the rate is a percent, the percent that they're charging. Okay? The lower your percent is on having to pay this loan back, of course, the less the amount of money you're going to pay for borrowing that money. Okay? How, Miss Reyes, do they come up with the percent? Sometimes they come up with the percent that you're going to be charged based on your credit. Okay, if your credit score is very low, okay, if you have a low credit score, they're going to charge you more interest because that means they're going to get more of their money back. Okay, think about it. If you stop paying this loan, they don't get their money. Okay, they like to capitalize off people that don't pay their bills because not only do they get as much money as they can out of you, they go pick up their items. So then they get to sell it back again and it'll go to another loser that doesn't pay their bill. Okay. And they just keep making money off people that don't really pay like they supposed to. All right. So now T is the years. T is the number of years it takes you to pay this. T is time. That's what the T actually stands for, but it's time in years. Okay. If the time is not in years, you have to convert it to years. So if, for an example, if they say 5 years, then T is going to be equal to 5. If they say 5 months, then you have to convert it into time by saying 5 divided by 12. Okay. Any questions about that? And then you can convert it into a decimal by dividing. Let's do that. Or you can keep it as 5 over 12 if you want to. So we say 5 divided by 12. And then this would be the decimal that you use, or you can keep it as a fraction if you don't want to round it, okay? It'd be 5 over 12 because that is reduced. Okay? Questions? Raise your hand if you're still writing before we go to the example. Okay, I'm going to pause for the calls. All right, here we go. Let's do the example. All right, so you put $5,000 into an account with an annual interest rate of 3.5%. And this must be a really good account because savings accounts don't occur that much interest. It's like 0.0 or something and some change percent. Okay. You don't get a whole lot of money. You don't get a lot of interest for putting money in a savings account. Okay. Basically what you put in there is what you're still going to get. Okay. That's why people make investments. All right. It says how much interest will your account earn in 4 years? So we want to know the interest in 4 years if you put 5,000 in that account and it collects 3.5% every single year. Okay, this is a simple interest problem because it's only collecting interest once a year. It's not collecting interest every single month or every quarter. It's just one time a year you are collecting 3.5%. That's all this problem is saying. So in order to figure out how much interest that will be in 4 years, you use the simple interest formula. The simple interest formula is I is equal to P times R times T. Okay, in this problem, what is my P? What's my principal? 5,000. That's the money. Okay, that's the money that you put into the account. Times, I'm going to use parentheses, my rate. What's my rate in this problem? 3.5%, but I have to write the rate as a decimal. How do you write 3.5% as a decimal? Very good. 0.035. Very good, baby. And then what is my T going to be? 4, because it's years, 4 years. So times 4. So we're going to multiply all 3 numbers together to get the answer there. You type it in and see what you get. Ms. Reyes is going to pause for the calls. Don't yell it out loud. Please type and write. All right, so when we type that in, remember we clear in our calculator, 2nd plus 712, 2nd plus 712. And we're going to type in the 5,000 times 0.035 times 4 years. And how much money is that? So it's going to be $700 interest. It's just asking for the interest that occurs. What if he don't take any money out? How much money is going to be in that account? 5,700 if he doesn't take anything out. Any questions?
Is this from last year?
This. Oh no. All right, but I don't like to say that out loud. Okay, this is interest. Okay, this is your interest one. All right, so let's put that to the side. So now we're doing compound interest. Okay, we're doing compound interest. Pause for the calls. Put that one in front of you. This one is when interest is being charged more than one time within a year. So this is the formula you use when interest is being charged more than one time in a year. The verbiage, the language that they use to tell you that is when they say that interest is being compounded a certain amount. If interest is being compounded biannually, how many times a year is interest being charged for biannually, you think? No. Biannually, how many times a year? Twice. There you go. You're cooking with grease now. Twice a year. What about quarterly? If it's compounded quarterly, it's 4 times a year. What about if they say compounded monthly, 12 times in a year? And this one's a harder one. What about semi-annually? Mm-hmm. Nope, twice a year. Okay, twice a year. All right, that was a hard one to do. It's the same as biannually. All right, so here we go. Compound interest is when interest is being charged more than one time a year. Oops, change. It's supposed to be charged. So it's not just being charged annually, but it's being charged more than one time in a year, okay? This A represents the final amount. That A represents the final amount. It could be the same as Y, okay? It's the output, it's the answer, it's the total. They just changed the letter. It means the same thing. Raise your hand if you're still writing. Okay? What do you think P stand for? Principal. It's the principal. Can be your starting amount that you put into the account or the amount that you take out for the loan. It's just your principal. So we can put starting amount, or we can even put loan amount. Okay? It works both ways. Okay? It's also in the exponential function. It's the starting amount is A, so it's the same as your A. Okay, the little A. This is your starting amount. Starting amount. This right here is what's in the parentheses is your common ratio. Well, I'll staple it later. This right here in the parentheses is of course your common ratio part. The 1 in this is your 100%. Written as a decimal. It's exponential growth because you got the plus there. But they're taking that R, that rate. This is your rate. This is the percent written as a decimal. And they're taking it and dividing it by how many times the interest is compounded. So this is the number of times interest is being charged in a year. So your N is your compounded amount. And in short, that's how many times interest is being charged within 1 year. Interest charged in 1 year. So we got compounded, yes. Compound amount with a D, babe. All right, so if it says quarterly, if it's compounded quarterly, what's n equal to there? 4. If it says biannually, what is n equal to here? 2. If it says compounded monthly, what's n equal to here? 12. Daily would be ridiculous. You need to turn around and walk out the door if somebody's charging you interest every single day. Like, that's highway robbery.
What if it was like cheap?
Yeah, that's highway. It's still it's too much because it's just gonna keep doing that same principal amount every single day. They smart for doing that. You know what I mean? They can get a lot of money. It doesn't matter if it's $1. That's still a lot of money by the end of the year.
That's like
You right? Who does that foolishness or more?
Well, what if they like charge you $365?
No, that's too much. I did no. All right. Monthly, semi-annually. Sorry, lost my train of thought. So semi-annually, that means n is equal to what? 2. Good job. Okay. Pause for the calls. Jemiah, you finished? Okay. Okay. So let's do the other. We got NT. Okay, so we're going to do the compounded amount times the number of years. So N again is the compounded amount. Doing that again because now you got to take the compounded amount and multiply it times how many years this loan is. And then T represents the years. Remember, if it's months, you need to convert to years. Like if you paying this off within 6 months, then it's going to be 0.5. That's half of a year. Okay? Which of course is going to make your interest cheaper because you're paying it off faster. Any questions? All right, good folks.
That's it.
An example.
That's all it is.
That's it. You put this time you're gonna put 3,000. Okay. We got $3,000 into an account. With the annual interest rate of 4.5. And see, sometimes how people get messed up is because they sign for an adjustable interest rate. So if you sign up for an adjustable interest rate, then that means that they can go up on your interest. Um, they can go up on your interest at any time. Okay, after that year's up, they can go up on your interest. So that's why people never sign up for adjustable. They just sign up for just one fixed interest rate. Okay, because depending on the cost of living or depending on what the market looks like, if you do an adjustable and the market is bad, then that rent rate is going to go up. Okay, some people get bamboozled and they be like, oh, the economy is going to get better. So if you choose an adjustable interest rate, then that means that you're going to pay less next year. There's no guarantee that economy is ever going to get better. So you never ever in your life do an adjustable interest rate. But some people they take that risk. So that's on them. All right, so you got annual rate 4.5 compounded quarterly. Okay? How much will your account be worth after 5 years? Okay? So this is how you do that, okay? You're going to use the formula And I'm going to use this formula because interest is being charged quarterly. It's not just once a year. So it's A is equal to the principal times 1 plus R divided by N to the NT power. So what's your principal amount? The 3,000 times 1 plus, what's the R going to be? Point what? Nope. 0.045 divided by, what's your N? No. You said 5? No. Compounded quarterly. 4. Okay. And then what's your NT going to be? 4 times what? 4 times 5. Okay. So that's going to be to the 20th power. All right. We'll finish it tomorrow. Put your calculators and everything